Well, today, activists gathered outside the White House calling for the legalization of marijuana. The protesters lit up and smoked pot in an act of mass civil disobedience, and they were also toting a 51-foot blow-up joint. Yes, that's a big joint. President Obama has resisted calls to take executive action in decriminalizing marijuana. Police wrote 2 citations during the protest, but the Secret Service allowed the trip down Pennsylvania Avenue.
The policies that have been in place for the past 48 years have been targeted and they have been destructive, okay? Like the gentleman who spoke up here just a moment ago, he was speaking about one of Nixon's top aides, John Ehrlichman, who, and you might have seen this in the news recently, came out and admitted that the war on drugs was targeted towards the anti-left or anti-war leftist hippies and African Americans.
The annual protest usually takes place on April 20th, but was rescheduled after calls for an earlier protest.
But back to the war on drugs. How did it come about? Well, author Dan Baum this week revealed a 1994 quote from former Nixon policy advisor John Ehrlichman, who told him the Nixon White House had 2 enemies, the anti-war left and black people. By getting the public to associate the hippies with marijuana and blacks with heroin, and then criminalizing both heavily, we could disrupt those communities. We could arrest their leaders, raid their homes, and vilify them night after night on the evening news. Did we know we were lying about the drugs? Of course we did. Jesus Christ, man! You can't say that stuff out loud! And look, yes, a lot of people already assumed this was the case. When I posted this quote on Facebook, half the comments were, well, duh.